Trouble keeping up with the Joneses? It's the coach. You're watching Madden Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Aaron Jones, no picnic a week ago. He's looking for another big game, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Denver Broncos. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
Two weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. Runs through the contact. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
On the set. 51 to mine.
Now Locke on the bootleg. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. Yeah, let's look quickly here at the Denver offense.
And how about Philip Lindsay's rookie season? Began the year 3rd on the depth chart. Finished it in the Pro Bowl. Not bad for an unrestricted free agent out of Colorado with speed to burn.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd down. Throwing his Lock on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now...
Now a hit and a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. Returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Over here.
They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The numbers for Jones last week, 24 carries, 118 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
On second and a couple, Rodgers. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
26. 51. Hey, wahoo!
Deep, man up, deep. Mike 51, Mike 51.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And able to find Graham, complete. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Still leaves him with 4th and short. Any chance you go for it?
It's definitely in the back of my mind. In fact, I've discussed it with my staff all week long, different situations that I may want to go for it. Where's the ball in the field? Do I have confidence in my trigger guy? What am I going to do? I'm also talking about my analytics department. What are the odds? If I don't get it, what's it going to do to me the rest of the game? Personally, I end up taking all that, putting it in my head, and making a decision. And you know me, I'm probably going to go for it.
Wow, you want to make an opening drive statement.
Yes, I do. Once I have the ball and I've got it on the move, I don't want to just give up that easily.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Faking the give to Lindsay. Here's Locke. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. And they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Hey, Zoo.
Snap comes at 1. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And down inside the 15 he goes. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can...
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
Let's go. 18 Gator.
They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Subsequent gains of 3, 4, and now 5 yards. Good enough for the first down. Well, we talked about Phillip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018. The Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. So from undrafted to playing in the Pro Bowl in 10 months, that's pretty clean living for Phillip Lindsay. A look at the numbers a week ago for Lindsay. 12 carries, 51 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game. I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Throwing on first down is Locke. And that's complete to the tight end Hireman. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Play action. Now it's Locke. And this is hauled in by Matthews. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Rashard Matthews, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one taken from the 7. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong. Only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game.
Touchdown, Packers! Aaron Jones, 76 yards, and the Packers have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted, and now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes the score 14-7. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
23 yards on the play. Locke going to bring the offense up 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll try the draw. Lindsey looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play as it takes us to the end of the first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now a play fake, and here's Locke. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 32-yard line. Sutton is part of a good young receiving core for the Broncos. They liked Sutton enough last year. They traded away Demaryius Thomas, if you remember, halfway through the season. And Sutton, he responded. Rookie campaign, had over 700 yards, 42 catches for the man from Brenham, Texas, which is located halfway between Houston and Austin. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. From the 30 on 2nd down. Locke got a man open. It's Sutton. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
Locke to throw on 3rd and 1. And that's caught by Smith. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Torrey Smith, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams. An 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Man, let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Picked off by Todd Davis. And bulldozing his way through. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. He is a difference maker at the linebacker position. He had a pick six last year, remember it. But it's different for those guys, isn't it, than a corner or a safety?
It certainly is, because sometimes they're pattern reading, seeing what the receivers are doing. Sometimes they're spot dropping, just getting to a place on the field and finding the quarterback and going to the ball. But remember this, these linebackers, at one time in their life, a lot of them were running backs. And they love having the ball back in their hands and making big moves towards the end zone.
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now a first down carry by Jones. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On second down, it's Jones. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, Haywood.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
Get that ball, D.
Inside. 5.
Working from the gun, Rodgers letting one go deep. He hauls it in. Valdez-Scantling for the Packers touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
Boy, that route is really tough to cover because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slant.
Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying, don't forget, it's tough to cover for the defense, too.
Yeah, the number one thing that you're taught is to not get caught inside or get beat inside. So you guard that a little bit more. So that gives you a little bit more space to operate outside if you start your move initially inside if you're a receiver.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down. On play action, Lock under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Zadarius Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. On 3rd and long, it's Locke. And Matthews makes the grab. And he'll be be taken down at the 46-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
And here back onto the field comes Jimmy Graham. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guys going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play. And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now, and this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
50. Hey, you block over here. Hey, orbit.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Hey, Echo.
Now Rodgers. Open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. On 1st down, Jones. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league. And
they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the 1st down as he's tackled at the 2. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Go, go.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. Geronimo Allison. His 1st touchdown here of the new campaign as his guys are able to regain the lead. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Crosby with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. That time, a 9-play drive. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tramon Williams. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Rodgers now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. From the gun, he'll throw. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. 15 yards there on the catch and run. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Rodgers rolling to his left. Now he'll pull it down, and they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Aaron Rodgers on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And an alley to run. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Phillip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Lock now on first down. Pitch and catch complete to Hireman. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Lock now after the pick on the last drive. 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Here's Lock. A little check down to Lindsay. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Lock now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Lock. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And McManus able to put it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
They're running
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he's going to lose yardage. Not that it matters as the final seconds tick away. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll begin with what's actually a Super Bowl rematch from 4 decades ago. Super Bowl 11. John Madden's lone Super Bowl title. It's Oakland taking on Minnesota. And that one tied 14 apiece in the second quarter. From there, let's stay in the Midwest and head down to Kansas City to check on the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And they trail the visiting Ravens in that one at halftime. Mark Ingram, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far with a touchdown run as well. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And at the moment, that game is tied with the visiting New York Jets. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns, and he has run for another. As for the call of the second half, we turn things back over to...
So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Packers now to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he hits his target, the tight end Lewis. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Throwing is Rodgers. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Rodgers on the money to the tight end, Graham. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Great gains back-to-back. Last time over 30 yards, better than 20 here. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
This is Jones. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing his lock on 3rd down. He'll dump this one off to Lindsey. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 39. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Rodgers. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, yeah.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jeremiah Tauchu. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. They're going to line up to go for this on 4th down. Rodgers stays on the field. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. He'll rifle this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shoot forward. And Graham's got it, complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Rodgers. He'll buy some time right. This is caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. And again, it's Rodgers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Geronimo Allison, the intended target. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd and goal, Rodgers. He's got it. A touchdown saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose.
And he's got the connection to the tight end, Graham. Touchdown, Packers. Jimmy Graham, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. On 1st down, right back to Lindsey. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Locke. He completes this to Sutton. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the 3rd. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And some room to maneuver. There he goes left side. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Now Crosby for the point after. And that'll increase their lead to 28. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had 3 tight ends in on that set.
And these guys are punching really well. I use boxing analogies a lot. A lot of coaches have told me that when you line up to run the football, it's 10 fistfights along the line of scrimmage, right? You've got to win your share. These 3 tight ends, they almost always win their fistfights.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Locke got an open man. It's Fumagalli. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. A gain of 6 there on 1st. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
3rd and 2, Locke's going to throw. And he's got Hireman. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Locke now on 1st down. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They go back to the ground now with Lindsey. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? Let's go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Kevin King with a pick. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
It's caught here by Adams. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Jones. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 43. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They'll go again to Jones. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll run it with Jones. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now Rodgers running the option right. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. The Packers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 13-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Jones. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Lock going to throw. He's got Smith here. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. To try again after the sack. Lock, and that's complete to the tight end Hireman. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Lock. Looking middle, and that's complete. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Throwing now is Lock. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Lock will try again on 2nd down. A little check down to Lindsey. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Lock looks to throw it again. He'll get this one to Patrick. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. One final try for Lock. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
I'm going to hit you all day.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Green Bay, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another home date next week as the Eagles will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.